What's going on, everybody? It's Noah back here with Team 3G, here with another Eternal format video. And in this video, this is going to be kind of my meta musings, just some thoughts after getting in some games in the Eternal format. Just what are my thoughts as we start this PQ season and as we are finally getting these leaders back, and this Eternal format will have us working with all the cards we have available. So this is just going to be a quick rundown of some leaders I expect to see, some bases, some cards, different strategies that we expect to see, and also what potential bans I would personally like in the future if we want this format to be successful and continue seeing a lot of players involved and actually wanting to participate in these tournaments. All right, so first, let's talk about what I expect to be the top leaders. Now, with it being Eternal format and it being kind of very much wide open, we have access to all the leaders. There's currently no ban list. Obviously, you're bound to run into who knows what. There's been a Tobias Beckett combo deck. And you could also just see people playing their personal favorite leaders, such as Yoda, if they were someone who enjoyed playing the Kira playstyle, they may just be playing some different decks like that. But these are the 6 top leaders I truly see dominating and doing well at these PQs, and what you're probably going to be seeing at the top tables. Obviously, up at the top of this list, we have our 2 leaders that are now off of the ban list for this format in Jango Fett and Boba Fett. Let's start with Jango here. Jango's coming hot off the ban list, being more powerful than ever, getting access to a lot of cards from this previous block that it didn't have access to before it got hit with the ban hammer. Now, Triple Dark Raid is still also just as powerful as ever, allowing you to slam a War Juggernaut, a Devastator, whatever ship it may be, to tap down your opponent's whole entire unit board. And just be able to run away with the game that way. And also, it gets access to Tarkin Town and is able to utilize it very, very well. ISB Agent and the P-38 are great targets to be able, for Jango to be able to not only exhaust units, but also to be able to go ahead and Tarkin Town and just set the tempo for the rest of the game. Now, we've got Boba Fett. The most common version of Boba Fett has been Boba Fett Green. And it seems like most people are really finding success with Boba Fett Data Vault. They don't mind having 10 extra cards in their deck whenever they've got such a vast card pool that Boba can really utilize with his leader and unit ability to be able to just utilize more and more resources on that turn. It also means Boba's armor is back into play and it is more dangerous than ever. Your ECL turn plays are no longer as effective against Boba, and he's also hitting you back for 4 more than any other, just easily the most overstated unit, also with a very, very great ability, and people just love Boba, so expect to see him quite a bit also. Then we get to some more niche picks, I feel like. Not necessarily niche, but maybe these are the decks that people feel like can combat both of the Fets. And the first one, we have Quinlan Voss. He's probably going to be our best Force Throw deck. I don't see Hantu being able to keep up in this format as of now with Force Throw and the Force package, whereas Quinlan can. It can keep tempo. It can utilize Force Throw on his flip turn very, very effectively. And also with the addition of the new K2SO from the newest set, A Lawless Time, it allows you to have an explosive play where you can use that leader ping to go ahead and set up that damage on a Jango, on a Boba, on other Quinlans or other 5 deploy leaders, get the on-attack ability to deal 3, and then ambush him for 3 more damage. It's very, very powerful. Also, Quinlan still has access to the Plo Koon from the Twilight of the Republic set, also allowing to set up some explosive plays there as well. And again, this is probably for now going to be our best Force Throw deck, utilizing Tarkin Town, having other Force units to be able to play, and just being able to tempo and aggro at the same time. Now, Gar Saxon has also, with A Lawless Time, gotten a lot of new units that it really, really loves to play, such as the Leppy Lookout and the Let's Razzie. I believe that's her name. Those two units by themselves have given Gar enough power to make it to the next level. These shields also that all these units are coming in with are really annoying for Django to deal with, as they're not able to tap down as much. And then also having those shields, being able to hit twice into Boba, into Quinlan, into Han, into Sabine, gives them a really, really hard time. I would not be surprised at all actually to see Gar be one of the first PQ winners because of how well positioned it might just be into this format. Then of course we have the set 1 Han Solo. Personally, in my opinion, one of the hardest leaders to learn to play. I've never really tried to pick it up myself because the play style is not suited for me. But if you're able to use Han Solo to the best of his ability, you're going to win games. And some games you might even just blow out the opponent. And then we have Sabine Wren, our premier aggro deck. It's gotten a little bit faster in Eternal. And with this format already being super fast as well, she's just kind of in position to just see if she can race all of these decks. But can obviously struggle into any of these other decks if you're not playing it well. Django with the tap down effects, Boba just being able the premier mid-range deck to just face off and play all these good units. Quinlan being able to tempo. Gar with all the shields and having just better access to ground units, and Han Solo being able to either ramp or race. So these are what I think are going to be going into this Eternal format with PQ starting our top leaders. Now let's talk about the bases. Honestly, I think these are going to be the 3 main bases we're going to see. The first one, obviously, is going to be Tarkin Town. We're going to see this with Django. We're going to see this with Quinlan. Obviously, with Django probably going to be the most popular and most powerful deck. Maybe not necessarily the most popular if people are trying to beat it, but definitely the most powerful. Right behind it, in second place, in my opinion, is Energy Conversion Lab. Vader and from Legends of the Force is able to utilize this very well to combat a lot of these decks. Gar Saxon can utilize that very well. You might even run into some Bobas who are using ECL, even though I don't think that's the best version, but you never know what people may have found. It is Eternal, after all. And then obviously our main ECL target being Poe and Wrecker being found in the Sabine deck. And then last of all, I think any other decks that are running green are just going to run Data Vault. We have so many cards in the Eternal format. They don't care to run 10 extra for that 3 extra HP, especially considering how fast this format is looking to be to start off. Now, let's talk about bans for the Eternal format. Obviously, coming into it, there are no bans, but these are just some things to be on the lookout to maybe potentially after the first couple weekends going ahead and being banned shortly after we start getting some results. I personally believe the first and foremost ban should easily be DJ. DJ in the Han Solo deck being able to get it out so quickly and just start eating away at their resources keeps any leader, in my opinion, that is 5 or more from being played. That flips with 5 or more resources. And that to me is very, very detrimental to the health of the Eternal format. This format is supposed to be made to where any leader can be used. Now, obviously, there are going to be some leaders that are just going to be inherently better than others, but powerful late flip leaders such as Palpatine from set 1, Yoda from set 3, even Rey from set 2. These types of leaders to me right now are unplayable, or it's going to be tricky to make them competitive just because of DJ keeping those decks to getting to their very, very impactful flip turns where their leaders are going to do something very, very powerful. So I think the sooner DJ is hit, I would have loved to have seen DJ be hit before the first couple PQs, but I understand why they wanted to go ahead and kind of let us roam around in this wild, wild west before deciding on any type of bans or suspensions. Now, War Juggernaut, I believe, is the next one. I don't necessarily know if Triple Dark Raid is the problem, if Django is the problem, but I know for certain out of all of those, War Juggernaut is a problem. Being able to basically, if you can't deal with Django, and if they, off those top 7s off of Triple Dark Raid, your opponent hits a War Juggernaut, your whole board is tapped down, and they have a huge unit coming in ready to kind of just finish off the game. So these are for sure 2 cards I would love to see hit. Even after War Juggernaut is banned, Triple Dark Raid may just actually be the problem, but I don't necessarily think Django needs to be hit. Now, let's touch on Boba, because he's the other leader that is heavily overstated, has a great leader and unit ability. I do think something needs to happen there, but at the same time, I believe if DJ is hit and allows more room for some of these later deploy leaders to come into the format, then actually I think Boba is very manageable. And I don't know if he will necessarily need to have any sort of hit. But one thing I would love to see hit maybe eventually is potentially Boba Fett's armor. Just because of how annoying it is to get around that and try to deal with Boba Fett, since it deals with 2 damage in every instance. It prevents 2 damage in every instance. So for instance, if you go to ECLN, your Wrecker, and you deal the 5, it actually only takes 3. And then whenever you go to Overwhelm, he's only actually going to take 5. So it's barely enough to just get over being able to defeat Boba Fett with his armor. Now, Poe, on the other hand, can discard a card, take care of that. We also have answers in Vader with ECL, being able to put that shield on and go ahead and defeat it. So there are answers. It is just a little annoying to deal with if you don't draw those answers. So these are just kind of my thoughts about the Eternal meta and what bans I think should happen sooner rather than later. And I think there will be some happen sooner rather than later whenever they realize a lot of decks and leaders are being gatekept by some of these strategies altogether. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed just some meta thoughts here. Again, go ahead and like and subscribe, and maybe leave a comment down below if you plan on going to an Eternal PQ, what deck you might be trying to bring to that PQ. And also check out the last video I posted about Sabine ECL going into this Eternal format. Thanks for watching.